What's going on, guys? National Master James Canty III here, and today a FIDE Master, an FM, got mated with the C3 Sicilian. The C3 Sicilian for the kill, the Alapin. We love it here at this channel. Let me show you guys the game. Game analysis, here it is right here. Okay, here we go. E4, C5, right? C3. He's a strong FM, so I'm playing my C3 Sicilian for the kill. This is what we do. It's quite simple. Okay? G6, so he's playing like what I like to play. I like to play this sometimes against the C3 Sicilian myself, which is the G6 versions, which are like Roman DG really has this out. He has a lot of content on G6 against this, but I have a different line that actually my course is coming out, guys. My course is almost finished for the C3 Sicilian. Once it's finished, I'm gonna have a video for you guys. I'm gonna post it on everywhere, and you guys can get access to the upgraded, you've never even seen before some of the moves here, C3 Sicilian Alapin course, right? So it's in the course, and actually I play the Gambit line, which is knight to C3, and knight f6 here is actually different. He didn't capture, and usually we go into my Gambit line, which I cover in the course, but knight f6 actually is what he played here. So I was like, okay, knight f6 not really played like that, and if we do pawn takes, then we're into the realm of like what he wants. So I was like, okay, we're gonna play e5 here. So we're gonna play e5 here, and it's kind of a delayed, or like an aggressive but kind of delayed C3 Sicilian. The regular way this will be played is with e5 without a knight on c3. But with the knight on c3, things have changed. So he played knight e4. And instead of me capturing, which I wanted to do, there's a modern line. There's some modern lines that are very similar. And of course, I know some of my e4 players that are advanced know these lines. But it's like there's already a knight on f3 here. So it's kind of like weird. It's just totally weird here. But I do know, and of course, this is a great tip for you if you are watching this, is to know that sometimes you want to keep the tension. I learned this from a lot of strong players, grandmasters. But keep the tension. I don't have to capture this. I would love to, but I just don't have to capture it right now. He can't pin it with bishop b4. So I'm just going to play knight f3. And that's what I played, knight f3. And now I'm going to follow up with knight g5 after capturing. He did indeed play bishop g7. And then after knight takes, pawn takes, then I play knight g5. And this reminds me of similar versions of the modern, I think. There's some modern variations that go with knight to g5. I end up playing e6. I triple these pawns, and I have a lot of play. But here it's a little bit different, because I think there's a pawn on c3. And without the pawn on c3, makes it slightly different in these lines. So, but this is not the same, and the queen's not on c7 either. So there are some differences, but I know that this is quite fine for me. It feels good here. And actually, after knight g5, black plays knight to c6. And I thought about this. I was like, do I capture? Do I play d5? Like, what do I actually do? What would you actually do in this position with white? The best move here, and actually what I liked, is bishop to e3. And I was prepared for queen a5 check. If queen a5 check, I was just going to go queen d2. And I was prepared to go into this endgame, but at least I'm getting this pawn, though. Knight takes, and like it could be, like there's some stuff here, you know. Maybe if castles, I might go bishop b5. Oh, yeah, castles, because rook d8. There's always tactics. So if I take, he plays rook d8. He gets his pawn back. My king's in the center. So I might actually go here. After here, maybe captures this way, and then maybe king e2. I don't know, but you maybe, yeah, because this is hanging. So engine, of course, will help us with this line, but this is like very sharp stuff here. But I was prepared for it. Let's actually see what they say. Best move is queen d2, takes, and then bishop f5. Actually, instead of castles, I was afraid of that though. After castling, what's the best move here? Bishop b5 is an option, and bishop c4. Oh yeah, just tie the rook down. So this is, I like this move better actually. It just ties the rook down, and I mean, unless you want me to take on f7, but it does tie the rook down. So let's get out of there. Okay, so he didn't try that though. He actually went for, instead he played f5 here, which was interesting. And I was like, oh, okay, f5. I could play e6, but that's hanging the pawn, and it's not that good. Like, it just looks good. It looks really good, but it's not that good. My knight can easily be kicked out of there too. And I had to en passant, so I was like, I'm just gonna en passant this and not even think twice about it, you know. So he captured. I captured back. Or, well, I captured and he captured. He actually could have captured with the bishop too. I actually thought this was a move. And after bishop takes, I had knight takes c4. But this is what I missed. I actually missed the win here. The move right now is actually queen to b3. And I'm just crushing here. Yeah, it says I'm crushing. After queen b3 or bishop c4. And honestly, I didn't even consider these. I didn't even look at these. So of course, this is a blitz game. But still, I was like, I didn't even look at these. So now I know what to do for future reference. But here, this is why you look at even the games that you win or games that you play. Every game, you want to analyze it. And I was like, oh, wow, I just missed this shot. Like, didn't even think of it. Sometimes it happens like that. But, okay, so f5, I en passant. He took with the pawn, which was surprising to me. I thought he would love to keep the bishop line open. But he took with the pawn. And then after that, I did knight takes c4. Right? He played f5, and I was anticipating him taking this. I went back to c3 because I was like, you know what? If everything trades off, I'm fine. And actually, if we go this route, it looks kind of like I'm okay. Bishop c4, like this is cool. If he takes with the queen, I actually don't even have to trade. I was considering queen b3 to play rook d1 and bishop e2. I didn't even want to trade the queens. So I was considering this kind of stuff. So I was kind of waiting for him to take it. And he didn't take it, which means he felt some kind of way about capturing here. So after that, I played bishop c4 check. I checked him. He moved his king out of the way. And then I was like, okay, this pawn's still hanging though. So he might take it now because his king's safer. He might take it. So I defended it, and also at the same time, f4 is a threat, which is extremely annoying. If f4 happens, I'm basically lost. The bishop has to move, and then the rook can come here, and this pawn's hanging. My bishop's extremely passive. What did I do, right? So knight to e2, it actually defends this square, and it defends this one at the same time. So I chose this, preparing not to castle, actually. I'll show you guys why. This right here, you should always notice the x-ray. I tell my students this all the time. Know the x-ray. This rook is x-raying the h-file here. I'm going to go for this. So after knight e2, queen h4. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I don't know what this actually was. Engine didn't like, not that they didn't like my moves, but they had better moves, of course, because they see everything, right? But g3, and then queen h5. Because if queen h3, I think this is trapping the queen. Or queen h3, we're close, but knight f4 was annoying. So he went queen h5, and instead of me going knight f4 first, I actually went h4 first. So now when the queen moves, I actually have h5, because this is my intention anyway. Now after queen f3 hitting the rook is now hanging here, I actually just moved the rook up to h2. Just to kind of do my own thing. I actually could have castled, I considered that. But honestly, I was like, you know what, I don't care. I want to go for mate. I want to go for mate. So if I want to go to mate, am I going to castle? No, I'm going to play rook h2, and I'm going to put my king on f1. I don't even care. Rook h2, he played rook to d8 here, attacking the d4 pawn. And then I played h5 anyway. And of course, he did take it, because in this case right now, the g6 pawn will be hanging, threatening with mate. Rook takes h7, mate. So something like even knight takes d4, which I think doesn't work anyway. I think it just doesn't work. I mean, I don't know. I think it just doesn't work. I think I can actually just take it anyway. But, you know, for teaching purposes here, after pawn takes, no matter what you do with this knight, and this is... that I can take this, but this is mate. This is the mate I was going for, right? So after h5, g takes h5, and then I follow up with knight f4. Knight f4. He takes on d1, and I was definitely anticipating rook takes him taking on d4. He captured. I took on h5. He played knight c2 check. Whoa. Whoa, a lot of stuff going on. I played king e2, and what do you do with the black pieces? It's your move. What do you do? What do you do here? You resign, actually, because after rook takes d1, knight g6, and it's mate. Oh my goodness. The man got mated in a beautiful fashion here on the h-file. 24 moves. FIDE Master goes down to the c3 Sicile for the kill. The c3 Sicilian. The Alpin. Okay, this is what we do here. Monster stuff from the beginning. Let's see it one more time. e4, c5, c3, c3 Sicile for the kill. g6, d4, takes, d5. I do have a gambit line to this, so make sure you guys get the course when the video drops for you guys. But knight to c3, pawn takes, bishop c4 is the gambit line. He played knight f6, though, which is like, okay, all right. Yeah, we're not going to take and go into the realm that you probably know. e5, knight e4. Interesting. I could absolutely take, but keep the tension. Knight f3. If he takes, then my center is really nice. So, he didn't take it, of course. Capture, capture, knight g5. Now I'm hitting this. Queen b3 is going to be the big option here, especially after knight to c6. Don't let him take the center pawn, so we defend it. f5. Now I should be playing queen b3 or bishop c4 in these cases for future reference. E takes f6, e takes, knight takes. f5, knight moves back to c3. This pawn is hanging, but so what? We have a very good counter chances. Bishop c4, king goes to h8. I immediately see h4, h5. Immediately. But this pawn's hanging, so I gotta wait. Knight e2, queen h4. And he was also threatening f4, so I needed knight e2. g3, queen h5, h4. If the queen moves, I'm playing h5. If the queen moves, I'm playing h5. He moves, and I have to play rook h2 first, because I can't, because then I'm just losing because he takes the rook. So rook h2, right? Rook d8 puts some pressure on the file. Still undeveloped here. h5. If g5, bishop takes g5. Right? So he captures. He's like, that's annoying. Knight f4. Get rid of the queen. Remove the defender. Classic theme. Snap, snap. Knight takes d4. Rook takes h5. Oh my goodness, mate is great. mate is everywhere. Now I think he could have just played h6, honestly. Let's see what the engine says. Is he just out of here after h6? h6, it says I'm crushing though. But after h6, how do we do this? Oh yeah. I was expecting to do this and just win the pawn. I was expecting to just snag this pawn over here. Because if bishop takes or rook takes, we're going to have this trade. And then I'm close to mating. I mean, no. Like, it's going to take some time. Because you got the dark squares he can go to. I don't have enough. But I mean, black's not mated, right? So, you know, it's still a game. It's still a game. But white's just winning. And also the development is gross here. But, I mean, it's still a game, right? Still a game. But actually, in this position, he played knight c2 check. Actually, sorry, after rook takes h5, knight c2, king e2. This is mate on the back rank. So at this point, he's actually lost already because knight g6 is mate, and this is, well, close to mate because he can block with the bishop here. He takes on d1, knight g6, mate. Beautiful, guys. Remember this mating concept or this mating theme. You can do this a lot, especially in the C3 Sicile for the kill like we do, or the perk lines that I do, which you can check a little bit of those in the playlist for the perk, I think, or some other things. But all right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This was mating an FM, the FIDE Master, mating him with the C3 Sicile for the kill. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys comment, share it, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can catch when we post new videos and stuff like that, guys. I appreciate your support. Comment on the video, like it, share it, all that other great stuff, guys. I'll see you on the next one.